Hi, my name is Joe Chase, and it's my pleasure to be the robotics teacher for UVM's Global Academy. And I wanted to take this opportunity to tell you a little bit about what the robotics class is going to be about. Most people think that robotics involves something like C3PO or R2D2, and maybe that'll be the case. But what we're going to do is have a platform where creative people can take things that normally exist on the computer screen and bring them out to our side of the mouse, as I like to call it. So we take technology and we do creative things with it, like use light, color, sound in response to inputs that come from our external world. And people, participants in this program can sort of put their own personality into their creations. So I'd like to give you a couple of examples for that. The first example I'd like to show you is how we can take a very small microcontroller, and if you've heard the term Arduino, this is a very small Arduino compatible microcontroller and a battery pack, and this actually is going to be on display in a window front here in Burlington in a few days. And by turning the battery pack on, we wind up going through a sequence of colors in these lights, and this is actually going to sit on a mannequin. It's a very simple process, but you can see that coming up with the idea of having little antennas and colors showing is probably something that not a lot of people would think of from the outset. But this is a way that, that people can just take an idea maybe that they've seen and they'd like to improve upon, or maybe it just comes out of the blue and they'd like to bring it to life. And the most wonderful thing I think about this robotics class is that the gear that you get to use, you get to keep and you get to take home with you, and you get to inspire your friends and your family to be creative as well. I also wanted to show you, so this doesn't look very much like a robot, but I wanted to show you a robot that I put together in a relatively short period of time. So this took me about a half an hour to put together. We have a robotic base here with a couple of drive motors and then some sensors on the front that make it look kind of like WALL-E. And the interesting thing about this project is it shows what happens when you have a concept as the creator about what you think you want this to do. But then after you write the code and you see it in action, it might do something that you didn't anticipate, which could be maybe something you want to improve on, but actually could be something totally different and takes you in a new direction. My anticipated behavior for this robot was that it would go forward, and when it sees something in front of it, that it would back up and track back and forth in front of it. But based on the way the coding came out, I actually see this kind of behavior instead, which most people, when I show it to them, their immediate response is to think that the robot looks scared. But it's just following the instructions I gave it. So those are just a couple of examples of some of the wonderful things that you can do in the robotics class. It's a great class for folks who are creative. It's a great class for people who might have some entrepreneurial leanings. It's a great class for folks who just want to do something different and take something home with them, a little piece of Vermont, a little piece to demonstrate their learning to their friends and family at home. So I hope you join us.